Welcome back for another video. In today's video, we'll be looking at everything you need to know for Gameweek 36. The Roundup is a series on this channel that arms you with useful information to take into each game week to arrive at better decisions. This includes the top players for predicted points, the bookies odds, transfer trends and more. We'll start with the Goalscorer Odds, which are always based on the assumption that a player starts, and this is sometimes not the case. The odds are aggregated for the teams of double game week, and Salah's top with a 73% chance of scoring any time. Liverpool will know that every game remaining this season is a must-win for a shot at winning the league, and Salah will be crucial to that. He was benched last game week, which is perhaps an indication that he'll start all remaining games. Vardy has a 68% chance, but a risky pick, having just returned from injury and starting the Europa Conference League. And early this season, Rodgers remarked that he's not able to play week in week out. Mahrez was withdrawn early in the Champions League, and he could be the perfect differential, less than 5% owned. The game went on to extra time, so he looks certain for a start in the home game against Newcastle and perhaps Wolves midweek. Sterling didn't start for City in the Champions League, so he's now perhaps one to hold if you were otherwise looking to sell him. Over the last 6 game weeks, Richarlison has an expected goal involvement of 5.15, which is top among all forwards, and he has another double game week at 37, which makes him an excellent pickup. Mane is tied with Richarlison, both given a 60% chance of scoring. However, perhaps Mane gets benched for one of the double ahead of the FA Cup final. Therefore, Jota could be another huge differential. He may start both games, with Diaz and Mane getting a rest each. It certainly might play out differently, but him and Mahrez are ones to consider if you need a high upside pick. Onto the clean sheet odds, and City are top, given a 79% chance of a clean sheet across their 2 games. Walker was withdrawn with an injury, so presumably we see Cancelo play both games, and Diaz is the other one who looks the likeliest. You wonder if Laporte and Ake could share a game each, considering the sheer number of games Laporte has played recently. Chelsea have a 70% chance of a clean sheet, and again their defenders are a concern for minutes. James and Alonso carry the whole potential that we seek, and realistically they can do enough even with one start. Arsenal are just 3 points behind Chelsea now, so it's not out of the question for Tuchel to start them both. Liverpool have a 66.5% chance, and Robertson's another one who could miss out in the second of their double, which is against Aston Villa ahead of the FA Cup final. Tsimikas is a very capable backup, so you wouldn't be surprised if there is some rotation. Therefore, a single game with Robertson against Spurs does make him an option to sell for someone like Cancelo if you don't own him. Everton have a 50% chance, and there are a few options there, such as Pickford and Mykolenko. Their double game week 37 are 2 home games, and if they win all remaining games, they're guaranteed safety. Watford are second lowest out of the double game week teams with a 36% chance of one clean sheet. That said, Foster still looks like a great pickup as a backup keeper if you're on a bench boost and need to free up funds. Rock bottom this game week is Newcastle with just a 7% chance of a clean sheet for their away trip to Man City. Second bottom is Wolves, who have a double game week, but it's a terrible one against Chelsea and Man City, and they're in poor form with 4 losses in their last 5. If you own Jimenez or Hwang, there's some great swaps available, such as Richarlison and Nketiah, and if you own Sarr or a defender, it's worth considering a transfer there despite the double. Onto the predicted points, and it's a great spread this week. Salah leads with 13.3 predicted points. It's hard to overlook him, but you could certainly make the case for the likes of De Bruyne, who comes in second with 10.8 predicted points. KDB was withdrawn in the 72nd minute in the Champions League, while a few of his teammates went on to play 120 minutes, so he looks certain of at least one start, but his minutes are a gamble nonetheless. If you're chasing a mini league or a ranked target, there's some excellent alternatives in the top 5 here, such as Saka, Trent and Cancelo. Man City are top this season for expected goals conceded on 22.8 XGC, second being Liverpool on 33.6 XGC. Kane makes the top 10 with 9.3 predicted points, while Son narrowly misses out with 9 predicted points. Son's been the man in better form, but certainly at this point switching the 2 looks too much of a luxury move. If you're on a free hit 37 next game, but you could certainly consider doubling up though. Foden narrowly makes the top 10 with 9.1 predicted points, but he's in the don't buy, don't sell territory after playing 120 minutes in the Champions League. Mahrez misses out, but he certainly could be the better pick if you're looking for a Man City attacker. Onto the most transferred players, and Jesus is top with over 150,000 picking him up. He's another one who came off early in the Champions League, which could indicate another star, but it's very tough to predict Pep. Nketiah has made a big impact since displacing Lacazette, and he's one to strongly consider for only 5.5 mil. Over the last 4 games, he's taken 8 shots in the box, including having 2 big chances. Saka's been picked up by 60,000 managers and remains a great pick for the remainder, and we now know that he's on penalty duties too. If you've got Havertz and not Saka, the move makes itself. Schmeichel and Pickford look like the 2 best keepers for the remainder, playing 5 games in 3 game weeks. Schmeichel's among the top 10 transferred in, while Pickford surprisingly doesn't even make the top 20. Onto the most transferred out, and Tony's top with over 80,000 selling the Brentford forward. He actually looks like a great pick for the final 3 game weeks, playing Southampton and Leeds at home with Everton away in between. That said, you can understand the temptation to hop on a cheaper forward like Nketiah and Pukki who double, or an upgrade to Richarlison. Broja, Antonio and Weghorst all understandably among the most sold too. Barely double in Gameweek 37, but Weghorst has been too unreliable for returns and minutes. 50,000 have sold Ronaldo, who has been in good form recently. However, it's a single game week for Man United in 36, and of course 38, and then they blank in Gameweek 37. We'll finish the roundup as always with the captaincy poll results. Thanks to everyone who voted on the poll on our Discord. If you'd like to join, the link's in the description. The results are in and they are as follows. Salah leads the poll with 68.7% of your vote. It's another game week where his effective ownership could be pushing 160%, so betting against him is a high risk, high reward move, and it's one of the last good opportunities to bet against the masses. De Bruyne is second with 12.5%, followed by Son with just 3.3%. Saka, Foden, Kane, Trent and Richarlison all get a few votes each. This week 6.8% voted for other. If you're one of them, let us know in the comments who you got the armband on. That wraps up this Game Week's episode of the Roundup. Thanks for watching. If you found it useful, please hit like to support the channel and subscribe if you're new.